From Dove's Hat Hub to Anarch's Unbox, reviews with moves, real tall round the clock. First 508 airborne, standing strong, riding from Peaky Hat, right where he belongs. Pull up a chair if you're able, live at the gentleman's round table.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. We are live, funky, fresh in effect. And we got our guys here. We got Dove's Hat Hub, first 508th Airborne, and Ox.
Cool.
How you doing, gentlemen? And what kind of caps are we wearing today, gentlemen?
I got the Barrel Brown apple core on. I haven't taken it off my head since last fall, so it's here to stay, man.
I got the Peaky Hat Garrison. I really like this one. I got the OG Peaky Razor, the Tommy OG. My first Peaky hat. That's from way back a couple years ago, I guess now.
And I got the Bobby, which is an amazing cap. As you guys seen in my reviews, it was like a big halo on my head once I got it on, and something I never felt before. So we have got Ryan from Peaky Hat joining us. Ryan, thank you for joining us, and
thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Welcome.
Let's go hear about you, bud.
Yeah, welcome.
Oh man, pleasure's absolutely mine. I'm honored to be a part of this. Love what you guys are doing. I happen to be wearing a Bobby as well, camel. There's so much happening, so much going on. Timing to hop on and share everything is absolutely perfect. But in all sincerity, like there's a lot going on and our days are crammed and busy, but every opportunity that I have, I tune in to each and every one of you to watch your reviews. People share what you guys have said, and the love that I have in return for the love that you've shown for us is genuine. It's real. I'm honestly honored to be a part of this group and really do appreciate you guys inviting me in. And even more importantly, the fact that you're willing to put one of my designs and wear it on your head and talk so glowingly about it. It fills the bucket, that's for sure.
You make a quality product.
Yes,
Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the background of Peaky Hat, how it started, and all the other, like maybe your first Peaky Hat that you guys designed or released.
Yeah. It's not a sexy story. If I'm being honest, I think you're going to have a lot of viewers tonight. If we get too deep into the weeds on some of that stuff, they may start to drop off. But long story made short, I had about 2 decades of working experience, showing my age, and then some. And I got to this point to where a lot of the stuff that I was doing in e-commerce and in supporting other retailers, I got kind of sick and tired of seeing what retailers were doing to consumers, right? Like nothing drives me nuts more than seeing a $12 shirt sold for $180 or $120 on a hanger. Like they're squeezing out profits and really just kind of screwing over the consumer. And I got tired of seeing that. I was doing global consulting for some retailers, and my focus was data strategy, business intelligence, and customer experience. And I felt like a lot of these big brands, even some of the smaller brands, what they were calling customer experience wasn't genuine, wasn't real. Like they didn't genuinely care about the customer actually getting value out of their interaction. And it just started to drive me nuts. And then I've got 2 pretty awesome kids that were starting to get out of diapers and the activities were getting rich. And it was like, all right, I don't really want to spend 10 or 12 hours busting my ass to make these retailers successful. I'd love to kind of just get back to base and do something that I love and like a passion project, so to speak. And a big part of that was I just wanted to do my own thing and have a bit of control and start to institute what I felt was the right way to run a business. And I had in this weird back of my mind, and I didn't know it. Like, honestly, I'm 45. I didn't grow up like I'm going to be a fashion designer one day. I'm going to put items on runway for a fashion show. Like, none of that was ever part of the conversations. I was going to be an NBA player. I was sure of it, right?
Me too, man.
Yeah.
No idea that this was going to be, the outcome. But as I started to kind of reevaluate, and this was, everybody kind of went through this during COVID, the height of COVID, right? And I was like, all right, I need to get back to base. I want to do something local. I want to be part of the local community. I want to do something that my kids, I think, can kind of grasp onto. Long story short, I came across somebody that had kind of like, we'll call it a skeleton site. It's the best way I can put it. He owned the domain peakyhat.com and kind of had this idea of a site. And I saw it, and I'm telling you, 40 seconds. I saw a vision. I said, this is what I want. I had this itch, this burning desire in my belly to do something creative on the design, and always wanted to do something towards fashion, but I didn't really know what it was. I've been a hatter my entire life. When I was a little kid, I had a neighbor that built this like trophy case that went around my room, put my trophies on, and then it had a bunch of hooks where I hung all my hats, and I had hats galore, for the past 4.5 decades. And it just like that immediately happened. And I'll tell this to everybody I talk to, you for the 3 people that are tuning in and watching, I have never had genuine career satisfaction like I do today. I absolutely love what I do, how we do it, and who we do it for. And I mean it.
It's awesome, man.
I think it shows in the quality of the product.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's one of those things like we go back, like pricing and all this stuff is part of it, right? You have to run a business and you have to be successful with the business. But because I'm not trying to generate revenue for board members or shareholders or private equity firms, like I'm trying to generate enough revenue so that I can come out with my next design and generate enough revenue that I can create better packaging, because we can send out 4,000 hats a month. Mm-hmm. It's those 2 that's not perfect that keeps me up at night. Like the stories that we get behind it, like that's really what fuels what we do. But I'm also not going to be naive. Like, yeah, I absolutely want to generate enough revenue that I can pay myself, and eventually this becomes a retirement plan for me. Like, yeah, I'd be lying to your face if I didn't say that was, kind of the back of my mind. But I believe that if you do it the right way, you provide a great quality product, you provide amazing experiences, and you build a community around what you're building, that stuff will come. That's not what you're chasing. That's what comes as a result of choosing the harder right over the easier wrong.
Awesome.
And drinking good whiskey.
Yeah.
And so, like, other than all that, like, the first cap that you had, do you remember the first cap that you designed and released?
Oh yeah, you did ask me that, and I just completely glazed over time of it. But I'm gonna go back. Like that's kind of a fuzzy, hazy question. But I've got my first where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna design a cap. I don't want to go overboard. Like, how am I gonna do it? And it was the Balboa, the most controversial cap that I have, because everybody's mad that I don't have it anymore. But we'll circle back around to that one. The Balboa was the first one I did, and I think that was because I was a fan of Rocky. I happened to be like starting down this path, trying to figure out what am I going to do, and it was at Christmas. And at Christmas, I just watched Rocky every now and then, and Rocky 4 was on, and I saw Sylvester Stallone, Rocky character, get off the plane wearing that hat. I said the Balboa, like I think Peaky Hat, there's this underdog story of like, I've always been shorter. I've always been smaller. Like, here I am going up against the bigger boxer, right? In the hatting game. Like, this is where I start. let's start with Rocky versus the world. And that's where I designed the Balboa. And from there, it was like, okay, now how do you validate that? And because that's the hardest part. Like, okay, all you did was took an existing hat and just turned it into your own. I get that. Like, it's like looking at a Monet and just repainting it. But what I did next was the Peaky tartan. In the tartan, there's a lot of meaning and a lot of stuff behind this that we could dive into. But when I did the tartan, it was kind of that first real one where I created design on my own, what it was, caught it in my mind's eye, went with a lot of different details, a lot of different fabrics, and brought it to market. And it was at that point that, okay, you were born to do this. You just didn't know it.
That's interesting. I didn't even realize the Balboa was a Peaky Hat, and I remember seeing the ads for that.
But yeah, those of you that want to know, that's the Balboa.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah.
It easily one of my all-time favorite hats. It works, and it's kind of the definition for everything that we do moving forward. Those that are asking, I absolutely want to bring it back. The mill that weaves this fabric stopped weaving it. So we're trying to identify another mill that can weave it exactly the way that I need it. Because if it's a different fabric, different color, different specs, which is kind of hard to see, but there's colored specs in there.
Yeah.
If it's anything different, it's no longer the Balboa. Then it's another hat.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Makes sense.
All right. So Ryan, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a couple questions from each of us. You already answered my first question.
Sure.
I got my second question coming. Then we're going to do a round table of questions.
Yeah. And then at some point after we do that, I think everybody should be interested. We might do something with an actual hat, show it off, and maybe even make it available to people.
Cool.
Yeah, good. Let's answer some questions.
All right, perfect. All right, so make sure you guys keep up watching there because we got some pretty good news coming here shortly. So the main thing I want to hit on is the Bobby. Okay. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and tell me about the Bobby and the story behind that, because I myself have been impacted by that. But
sure.
I mean, in the case the viewers don't know the whole story, go ahead and tell us the story behind the Bobby.
Yeah, I'll try to say surface level on this one because it's not a fun story, right? Like it's not. It's frankly it's shit. So my father was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and part of his battle with Parkinson's, which isn't just his battle, it's his battle. It's my mom's battle. It's the entire family. It's everybody around us that's impacted by the shitty disease. Part of his journey, he went and had brain surgery in an effort to work with something to help with tremors and kind of a reduction of some of the medicines that you take, because medicines have byproducts. That's a whole different. Google it. When he had that surgery, he had a scar on his head, and obviously wanted to cover it up, and it happened to be cold out. And so I was thinking, all right, do I have a hat that is soft but would work? And I happened to have one. It was a cap that I had. It had nothing to do with any of it. It's actually the Bromwich. And there's probably a handful of people here that have put on the Bromwich, but it was the Bromwich. And it worked really well because of the material and the fabric that the Bromwich was made out of. It's super soft, and so it just worked well. And from that, I wanted to create some type of design that reminded me of that moment in time, because it was a moment in time as I was kind of getting started, and I saw, there's just something here. And I wanted to honor my dad. Like, none of us are where we are without our family. And I wanted to be able to honor that. And I felt like at the time, my dad was the way for me to do it. And his name's Bob, middle name's Wayne, Robert Wayne. And so that's when I designed the Bob Wayne, which is the newsboy version. And then he's got some great grandkids that call him Grandpa Bobby. And so I had the newsboy version, the Bob Wayne, which was rightfully named after my dad. And I felt like that hat just really characterizes stoic people that are respectful, work really hard, but don't have to be seen or don't have to always be recognized. It's about the things that you do when nobody's looking.
Yeah.
My dad always did that really well, and I didn't know it until I was older, and I certainly didn't know it or appreciate it as much then as I do in this moment now. It's about what you do when nobody's looking, and
We need more of that. We need more of that.
yeah, I mean, I need to do more of that, to be honest. And so that's where the Bob Wayne came from. So I did, I named the Bob Wayne after him, and then it just, made sense to come out with the single panel Ivy version, and the Bobby, because the grandkids call him Grandpa Bobby, made sense. But what I did do was I went back to a little bit of the drawing board, and the idea of softness and skin care and scalp care and all that was really important, which is why I chose the liner that I did. Like, it's actually a very intentional satin liner made for comfort. And I chose a high grade synthetic suede on purpose because I knew my dad would not want to have to take care of real suede. Like,
Yeah.
tech support I can do and all that stuff, but it's like I want to give my parents and anybody else something that's maintenance free.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the crux of that design. I do have one coming out. Like I said, this will be full of some announcements. But here in a couple months, April, Parkinson's Awareness Month, we're going to come out with a silver gray version, which is the color for Parkinson's, and 100% of the profits from that are going to go towards Parkinson's research. But more to come from that.
Very nice.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Awesome.
Most definitely.
That is
I
awesome.
appreciate you bringing that up, and I appreciate the love that you've shown for the Bobby too.
Yeah, I mean,
Great
it happened to my grandfather, and I know, but what you're going through, but it also goes back to when you're younger, you take everything for granted, and then with the older you get, the wiser you get, and you know whatever your parents used to tell you back in the day, like whatever,
Yeah.
and then finally like this is what they were talking about.
I mean, there's even days now where I look back, it's like last Tuesday I was taking things for granted.
Yep. Yeah. This afternoon I was.
Yeah. Like I said, the older you get, the wiser you get. And, like me, I mean, when I go out for walks, I walk every day and run every day. And I'll stop and take a picture of the sunrise. It's like, 20 years old, I'm like, whatever. First of all, I've never seen the sunrise when I was 20 years old. But yeah, it was, it's just, just your life's in totally different perspective nowadays. And it's with the older you get. And
the way I appreciate sunsets now, right? I just, I love sunsets
at a whole different level.
Yeah, I never paid attention when I was younger.
Yeah, it's like you take it all in. You're like breathing. Like, this is what life's about, it's great.
I've got a short film that I'll be sharing, and it's a boring film, but I think it puts a lot of that stuff into perspective. More to come. We'll share that next week. But it's really just about this idea of reflection, and when you have a moment to yourself, at how deep your mind can go here to here, and we all have these things. We all have these awesome things that we're celebrating. We all have these things that we're incredibly grateful for, and then we all have these things that we're all battling, and we all are. Yep. Very rarely do we understand that, but man, you better appreciate it, because that person that you're staring at, you don't know.
Yep.
They may need a hug because they earned something today and nobody's acknowledged it. They may need a hug because they got some terrible news, but at the end of the day, I think connecting at a human level, and that human level part, that's good shit, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Agreed.
Now, did you want to break the news now, or do you want to go through questions per month? Each of us?
Oh, yeah. Cool. Let's transition a little bit. Like we went from. No, yeah. Bring one more question at least, and then we'll.
All right.
All right, Dub, go ahead, bud.
Yeah, man. Like I said in the outro, the apple core.
Before you talk about your outro, your intro needs recognition.
Or intro, yeah.
I'm telling you, man, I was bumping. Like that was good.
Appreciate it. I
Kudos
meant
to
to
you.
say intro, yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said after that, the Apple Core is definitely like my favorite cap right now, man. I love it. Haven't taken it off my head. Uh, it's one of the most comfortable caps that I have ever owned. And I guess my question is, was that comfort intentional? And what was your original vision for that cap?
100% absolutely it was intentional.
Okay.
Most of my designs I design with the intention of how are people going to wear it? What's real life, right? What
Yeah.
you do and what I do during the day are very different, but also kind of the same, right? Like
Yeah.
I may be sitting on the couch watching football, you might be sitting on the couch watching baseball, right? But we're both sitting on a couch and
Yeah.
wishing we don't ever have to get up.
Yeah.
And so when I design, I try to design with intent around the experience, the environment of which someone's going to wear it. And so with that one, the Apple, it was all about like those lazy fall days when you're out apple picking, like, right. That was kind of the obvious. The
Hmm.
things that you do in the fall is when you kind of start to put on those comfortable hoodies and sweaters and all that stuff, right? And so that
Yeah.
idea of cozy was a big part of the design. So I wanted it to feel cozy, but I also want all of my hats, like nothing worse than a hat that sits on a shelf. Like you got your going out hats like the Maverick 2, which is leather, great hat, is super comfortable, but I'm probably not going to wear it all day long and like lounge back.
Yeah.
I wanted the Apple and the Core to be all day wear caps. And I wanted something that you would reach out over and over again.
Yeah.
As far as the feeling and the story behind it, I also wanted it to have enough drape and look and appearance of back alley grit from 1920s New York, because like in that era, it was really a blue collar mentality that was anti what the government was doing to the blue collar people that built that town and then kind of pushing them out. So I wanted that grit kind of in it. And that's why I love that fabric. Just the pick of the fabric, it's soft. The colors I think are great, but I wanted them to be darker because there's a darkness to what, 1920s, 1930s, and kind of that side of Brooklyn. And that's why I love the black undertones. I really love the gold fibers because that's really more of just the crispness of fall and kind of the apple. So I really took a lot of those concepts, tied them in, and intentionally chose that satin liner so that it would be comfortable. Just really let it extend on what that is there. I love it. The apple, I originally had one of the apples just green, and the comments and the feedback I got from that was so overwhelmingly powerful that I was like, okay, now we got to take this to the next level because it deserves it.
Dude, that's awesome. And props to that, man. That's awesome. Yep.
Yeah, appreciate it.
My second question is it's a fun question, man. What is the strangest or most unexpected place you have ever seen one of your caps show up in? Like I'm talking music videos, movies, athletes, anything, man. Just whatever.
I've got two for you. There's a lot. I could talk for 30 minutes on this topic. I got three things I'll call out here. One, I don't know if he's listening, but I got a next door neighbor that wants to like rid me. I've always said one of the coolest things would be is if I'm out in public somewhere not close to home and I see a complete stranger wearing one of my caps, like that's cool, right?
Yeah.
And eventually it's gonna happen in an environment where he says it qualifies for that. He's trying to beat me to it. So like, he travels all over the place. Like he goes up and meets people. He's like, hey, what kind of hat? Like he swears he's gonna do it. Yeah. My problem is if I see somebody local, it's usually he's like, no, doesn't count. Them. They go to school with your kid. That kind of
Yeah.
Put that aside. Fox News, somebody shared some stuff.
Cool. Yeah.
Ty was wearing it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he out of nowhere wore it. That was one just to see.
That's cool.
Like on TV in that environment.
Yeah.
Completely natural. He bought, had him shipped to the studio, and next 3 days was wearing it when he pulled out of the box, which is a testament to be able to have the confidence to wear it on screen and on air is pretty cool. But The coolest one has already happened and is going to happen again. I want everybody here that's on the show, watching the show right now, look up Harry Hall on Instagram and follow him. Look up Harry Hall, any social media channel that you can. Look him up and follow him now. He's your new favorite PGA golfer. When you look him up, and actually, I don't know if Ryan's here or not, but if you are Ryan, maybe put a link to his Instagram in the chat so people can quickly access it. I want you to look him up. I want you to follow him.
All right.
Seeing my hat on a PGA professional inside the ropes, intentionally, is one of the most surreal, amazing things I have ever been able to experience myself. But yeah, so
dude,
we're
that's
gonna announce
awesome.
that
Yeah,
next week.
That's cool. That's cool.
If there's enough time, I got one more, and it's a quick one. Since we were talking, in the lobby about unplanned questions, I'll throw one at you.
Mm-hmm.
What caps, other than your own caps, are you wearing right now from other companies?
I can't.
You can't.
I
Gotcha.
can't. It's a fair question. It's a good question. There are a lot of great hatters out there that I own, but I can't wear them just because of the environments that I get into and the people that I talk to. I get crucified if I'm not wearing one of my caps.
Yeah.
It's just
Makes
it's a
sense.
mentality right now where anybody I see, whether you fake it or not, I don't design a hat unless I think it's one of the best ones that I have. Like, I don't release it to the public unless I think it's something I want to wear every day.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to get it. My hardest thing every day is picking out which hat, right? And a lot of guys that collect hats say that. It is genuinely really difficult for me to do, because if I don't love the hat, I'm not going to release it.
Right.
For the most part. And so I gotta back that up, that I'm gonna wear mine because I think it's one of the best ones out there. There's a lot of great hatters that absolutely trump mine. But I gotta be all in on this.
Cool.
But I own Strakowski, I own Swisher, I own stuff from Funky, I own Stetson, I own a lot of them. But I'd be lying to you if I said that I wore them often.
Okay. Cool. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Now, did you want to go to a special news?
Yeah, there's one that I have been wearing. There's one that I have been wearing a lot lately. It's called the Gallant. It is 100% Harris tweed single panel ivy.
That's beautiful.
Gotta be one of the most anticipated, we'll call it redrops that we've had, because people really liked we had the Gatsby out and people liked the Gatsby. I happen to have those here with me as well. And the Gatsby is kind of the 3-panel that I'm getting away from, which has more of a flat and kind of these rougher edges.
Yeah.
The single panel Ivies that we have, people obviously like them. I think you guys have all shared that sentiment. It's got that bulbous look to it. And so tomorrow we are going to release the Gallant, but obviously with the excitement, everything's happening today, we made a limited run of these. I mean, Harris tweed is really hard to get your hands on, a lot of it. And so there's a limited run, and anybody that's watching today, these are available to you now. So we'll share a link. And I think
and I put a link in the chat as well.
We'll drop it in the chat. But these are available now if anybody wants them. They are 100% Harris tweed. This one's the blue. We do have the Harris tweed tag in there. We didn't do anything else but the Harris tweed tag. We felt like it owns the show, and went with the single layer satin liner instead of quilted. Like a lot of people, anytime you see a Harris tweed, you see them do a quilted liner. I felt like people want to wear this more than just on the coldest days. So this allows a little bit of late spring wear, as well as early fall, because it's not going to be overly hot. But naturally, I mean, wool's going to keep you warm. It's got a bit of water resistance into it as well. This blue is beautiful. It's the same patterns that you've come to know and love with the Cavalier, but now done in the single panel ivy. But these are available tonight for this group, and then we'll release it to the public tomorrow.
Those are great looking caps.
Awesome.
And the brown, which I didn't show off just yet.
Yeah, that's really nice.
The brown might be my
I love it.
color. I really like that color.
Yeah.
Nice.
Love those.
So a link is in the chat. If you guys want to click on that link to go ahead and go and head over to Peaky Hat. And I put a star in that. Should be at the top of the page. But also,
and those come. I mean, those come with they're at a little higher price tag. I mean, Harris Tweed's just it's a pricier material to make. It's actually one of the caps that we talked about margins and stuff. We don't we're not walking away rich after we sell these. But it's one that, like, I think everybody that's into hats and understands Harris Tweed and likes wool, like wool's just kind of part of the history and the heritage of this style of hat. You got to own a Harris Tweed. And so I want to make sure that we at least made them available. Yeah. It's not something I lean into for a lot of designs because it's expensive, and we design for the working class and the blue collar attitude, and that like that's who we are. And so if you just come out with a bunch of Harris Tweed, you're gonna outprice people quickly, and we get that.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome that you debuted that tonight with us. That's makes us feel pretty good. We appreciate you doing
definitely.
that.
Oh yeah, no, it's an honor to be here.
Awesome.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and put it out there in chat again. All right, Dub, Chad, you want to go ahead and ask your questions there, sir?
Sure. My favorite caps have always been single panel caps, and one thing I really like about your solo caps is they really have a unique drape to the front. Where did you come up with that idea? Is that a hat pattern you found or something you created yourself?
Yeah. So, you ever in the market for a new car, and the next thing you know, you see that car everywhere you go? Like it's that, or like you buy, like now everybody on this knows, like we're all into these caps. So every time you see somebody, like you notice somebody wearing that style of cap.
Yeah.
As I started to get into designs and kind of move in this direction and really envelop myself in this world, I found myself, I've always been about storytelling. Like that's a big part of kind of who I am and what I want to do. Like it's all about telling a story. Like we don't sell caps, we sell confidence, right? And we sell the stories behind it. And what makes it rewarding isn't just how people look when they wear the cap, but it's the stories that they're going to create while they're wearing a cap that they share back with us. Like that's the magic. That's the cool shit. Because of that, I find myself gravitating, if I have a chance or I'm not sleeping at night, watching shows that might have some kind of inspiration. And I was looking for some calm in my day, and I came across and started watching all creatures great and small, or all
right?
Yeah, all creatures great and small. And I started watching that show, and naturally, because of where it's filmed and the time period, the hats are part of it. And there were some that I was like, oh, I really, really like that style. It's really where this hat started from. Everything was a little bit bigger, a little bit more pronounced. It was rounded edges, rounded fronts, and that kind of thing. And I was like, okay, how do I take that style and pull it forward? And that was really the inspiration for this. A lot of people do a single panel ivy, right? Like I'm not the first, not the last, but that's where I kind of pulled it off the brim, gave it more of a gap between that seam and the actual brim, and then wanted to make sure that we didn't kind of cut it off short, but try to bring some roundness to it. And I'm still even kind of refining and tweaking it. We're eventually going to change the way I tack it. We're going to do a single tack and a single tack on the sides, which I think is going to help lift and elevate that too, and kind of take that legacy style, but pull it forward into 2026 designs.
And what it's done is it makes the hat more attractive from the front than your standard single panel cap. You know, they always look better from a 3/4 shot, not a side shot. But yours really, it changes the look of the cap from the front. That's what I really like about them.
And I find myself sizing up because I like it even more, like some of that bigger. But there's also absolutely, I don't want to show that one yet. I'll save that one for later. But there's also, like, if I were to get into my traditional regular size, it creates these dimples, and I love the dimples that are created too.
Yeah, I like those.
Where when you pull it down, sometimes you want a like more of an aggressive look, and so we're able to capture not only the legacy of the style, but also a little bit of that aggressiveness with the dimples. And
oh, I think you froze up on us.
Yeah, it's definitely a signature look, though. Those dimples in the front.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Signature look.
so yeah, all intentional, but I appreciate you calling that out. That's rewarding.
And then my other question for you was, who are the people in your commercials and your ads and stuff? Are those friends and family, employees, or a little bit of both? One of the people looks like they could be maybe a brother.
None are direct relatives.
Okay.
So one of the guys who you probably see a lot of his face actually happens to be my niece's husband. So nephew by marriage, and I joke, like, I could probably put him in a hat and call him Jay Allen, and people would think he's Allen with the Bills. Like, that's Jay Allen, because he's got that look. He just wears it well. He hates being on screen. Like, the whole acting thing is not his vibe. And I'm like, you don't have to. Just wear it. I can take care of the rest.
Yeah.
I did a couple other commercials. One of, in long story short, I've not done a good job of designing, promoting, and marketing towards a female demographic, and we need to do more of that. And so with some of the commercials and spots and ads that we've done, one, I want more representation across all things, including male and female. And so we just shot a commercial, and I had 2 female leads. Admittedly, both of them were, one of them was a paid actress that I met on a small project, and then the other one is the girl helped me with some of my tech packs and some of my pattern making. She was putting some stuff together, and she has this beautiful head of hair. It just wore the hat better than anybody I've ever seen. And so I asked her, and she was incredibly kind and sweet and willing to kind of help be a face to Peaky Hat as we do it. And hopefully you'll see more faces, because people are sick and tired of this. But early on, I was the most available and the most inexpensive. So you saw a lot of this, and just because it's attainable. But moving forward, I'm hoping to have a lot more of a variety of subjects and stuff in the content that we create.
Cool.
Yeah.
My daughter, though, did shoot some of the content, because when you're by yourself and you're outside, like, you can only get made fun of from your neighbors by being outside this so many times before you need somebody else to enter into that camera. So my daughter will come out, she'll take 120 pictures, and 3 of them work.
Nice.
What we got, Ant?
All right, Ryan, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
Love your caps. I want to say that your company, what stands out, your company for me is the color options on the caps.
Sure.
Because you're always worried about, well, I love this style and this cut, but is it going to match the clothes that I have? And for you, you got it. Like, a lot of your caps have a ton of color options, which I love. I just wanted to say that. But my question would be, you're talking about soft questions. I'm pulling a little hardball one here, I guess. I can remember a video you had put out when Boston Scally put out their Peaky Blinders cap, and you were like, you had a video where you were like cracking your neck a little bit. You were looking at the screen. And I always say that everybody has their own lane in this game, right? So 2 parts to that question. One, do you feel like Boston Scally infringed on your lane a little bit there with the Peaky Hat? And also, was there any licensing issues on your end with just the word Peaky or Peaky Hat, or that image looking of Tommy Shelby at all? How'd you pull that off?
Yeah. I want to make sure I answer all of those questions. So if I skip over one, it's not intentional. Hold me honest so they come back to them.
Yep.
Infringing on me and getting in my lane. No, I don't have a lane. I'm just here kind of like doing my thing. Right. And to be candid, if anybody, like, I get it. People will gravitate towards Peaky Hat because I have an entire line that's inspired by the series and the grit and the characters on that film. I've studied all that, and I loved it. And people started asking me, like, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? I was like, you know what? I'm like, they're reaching a whole new demographic of people and an audience of people that are kind of getting reinvigorated in this style. And so why not kind of be there for it, but do my own twist on it. And so, no, like, I have no ownership, no rights, no affiliation with Peaky Blinders specifically. The term Peaky Hat was born before any of that. Like, if you date back this style of cap, and there's a lot of different things out there, so I'm sure somebody's going to fact check me on it. And candidly, if you know absolute for certain, that would actually be beneficial. My full understanding is that, like, these caps were made with the scrap material that people had, and they would put them together, right? And so everybody knows that, you know, a lot of them were made out of wool because of some of the legislation that was passed, and people were forced to kind of wear wool. But the bills at the time were used and shaped with just things that they had laying around. I like to think, I don't know this for sure, that they started to put, because it was a lot around steel workers, and like they had scrap metals and harder materials. And so they started to make the bill with something with a little more rigidity to it. And then they started to become called peaked caps or peaked hats.
Interesting.
And so the term Peaky Hat is actually born of this style of hat, peaked cap in the old, the way it used to be. Peaky Blinders, that name is, blinder is a really well-dressed man. And so they wear peaked caps, Peaky Blinders, that kind of thing. So Peaky Hat was not named after Peaky Blinders, which I think is one of the bigger misconceptions. But obviously I lean into that because hats were fucking badass. Sorry. Like, they're really and so I like them inspired by the characters and the grit and those attitudes. So infringed, no, like they got, like they're here for me. Like the fact that they even notice what they have, I'm sure they notice. I know they notice because there's been some things. It's kind of cool. Like,
yeah,
I mean, they've set a tone, and so if they feel like going in the direction of a traditional newsboy works for their brand, that's awesome. Good for them. I wish them nothing but the best. I think the only thing that got me was I had a lot of people reaching out and saying, hey, they partnered with Peaky Blinders and did this. And I don't know if it was just words that they were using in some of their marketing. But I know, like, that's not true. In fact, the company that made their cap reached out to me the next day wanting to start making my caps.
Right.
And I know they're not the ones that produce it for the screen. I know who they are. And now, granted, the hats on the screen have been produced by several different ones, but it wasn't the company that produced them. They used Harris tweed wool, which isn't used on screen. There's a lot about that design that's not in partnership. Like if Peaky Blinders was actually in partnership, it wouldn't have done. And they paid licensing just to use the name, which is all well and good. I think that's cool, good for them. I don't have those kind of pockets. Like I can't just buy the rights to a name and slap it on there. And that's not the game that I'm in. Like I'm not trying to, but I'm inspired by what Stephen Knight has written and the attitude behind the characters that are portrayed on the screen. I'm very much inspired by it. So that did some of the designs. You asked trademark. There are some companies that absolutely call their hats stuff with my names. I don't want to speak to the legal side. I've exercised not to go after because there's that's not why I'm here. That's not why we're here. Even if they use the term Peaky, I have some legal rights, but that's good for them. Like I think we talked about it. What's good for the game is good for the player. Like I love that people are being creative and coming out with amazing hats, and those hatters that are out there pushing the envelope are only going to make me better. They're only going to make us better. And as people that love this style and love the hats, it's only going to make the whole thing better. Like the tide rises when we're all on our A game. Nobody likes to see one team dominate for 12 years. Like,
Yeah.
You want to see parity, and so the parity is all good. And yeah, I'm not backed by private equity, so it's just we play a different game, to be honest. Like, their design, their vibe is something very different. And I've always said nobody does Boston Scally better than Boston Scally.
Yeah. But I also think it's interesting because I've watched your company grow over the past year, because what we're talking about, when I first got into Peaky Hat, I just associated with, well, this is the hat with the razor in it. So that's what I want to look like, Peaky Blinders, right? But since then, you've sort of grown and broke that mold into your own signature, and there's so many cool caps and different cuts. And because I get boring with certain cuts, but when I go to your site, there's all these different cuts and cool caps. So I just wanted to say that. But then also on the Peaky Blinders tip, can you tell us a little bit about that event?
Absolutely, I can. Well, yeah, because you asked about that, like the figure that I use. It's actually a render of myself.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
It does.
Dude, I like
tiny.
that. That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
AI, you can do anything. Yeah, so we're doing a watch party on March 7th in what I consider my hometown, Delaware, Ohio. The Peaky Blinders is obviously a segment. I mean, I've got like 45 designs, 11, not even 11,
right.
7.5 or so are kind of inspired by it. So there's a handful, and I wanted to. There's 3 goals with this event. One, to share and support local in some local venues and local places in downtown Delaware. I call Delaware home. I eventually would love to have a storefront in Delaware, so I want to support it and kind of become part of what's happening downtown Delaware. If I have any Ohioans or people that are in the area, would love to see you on March 7th in Delaware. And the second goal was I wanted to do something to kind of give back and celebrate our customer base and our audience. People ask me all the time, when are you going to have a meetup? When are you going to have a meetup? When are you going to have a meetup? And so this was kind of an opportunity to do it. This movie is a limited theatrical release, being released in England on March 6th, and then in a handful of select theaters in the United States. I have no idea how many. Could be hundreds, thousands. I honestly don't know. But I know that it's a select few theaters in the United States that it's being released to before it comes out on Netflix on March 20th. I worked with our local, we have this like historical theater. There's only 3 screens, like small, but it's kind of got that old school theater to it, which is awesome. Worked with them, and they worked with their booker, and they were able to get the movie that weekend. So we're buying out the theater and doing a private watch party for anybody that wants to come. It's free. All you got to do is reserve a spot, because I don't want to have more butts than seats that night. We're going to do beforehand at a place called Opa. We're going to take over their whiskey lounge, do a pop-up shop, and just kind of a reception, like get to know people, say hi, or sell a handful of hats right there on the spot. Do the watch party at the movie, and then an after hours party with live music at a place called Bandits, which is kind of this little speakeasy that's under the ground in downtown Delaware. I'm excited. I think we've got like 30 spots left.
That's awesome.
If anybody around wants to join, love to have you. Just make sure you reserve a spot so that we got butts for seats at the theater.
And that's Delaware, Ohio?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's about 30 minutes north of Columbus, give or take.
Very cool.
All right, so before we get to you, Ryan, to give possibly give away some caps here, I got a couple of questions from the audience. Okay.
Yeah.
The apple core.
Yep.
This is from Dennis.
Yeah.
Will you ever make a red apple core?
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Yeah, and I don't want to commit to it. If I could, I would. Like I am, when it comes to some of these fabrics, I don't produce the fabric, right? And so I'm limited to the runs that the mill does with some of these fabrics. I am working on some really cool things, things that I can't mention here because I risk somebody else doing it. Where we're going to actually have fabric created specifically for us and for a specific project. But a lot of these fabrics I go and I look at, and we find fabrics that a mill's already producing. The core was one of them where I saw it and I was like, that's exactly what I want for that. They don't produce it in red.
Okay.
If and when in conversations with them, because I've asked about expanding those colors, I would love to do like a blood red or like an ox blood red on that cap. I think
That would be awesome.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that would be
Apple,
awesome.
it just makes sense. But as of now, I just don't have access to the fabric. Like usually that's my limitation is, can we get the fabric in the colors that are requested?
All right. So my next question is from Todd Sword. All right. The bobby cap. Can you go out in the rain? Will it affect the suede, or is it safe to apply Jason Mark to it?
Todd, my guy. I'm glad you brought that up, Todd. So, what a great question. And the short answer is no, it will not affect the cap, but it absolutely will get wet. It's not. It's a synthetic suede, so it's done intentionally so that you don't have to worry about it and you don't have to worry about the elements. But I love that you brought up Jason Mark. And so Repel turns every cap into a water-resistant, water-repellent cap. I have partnered with Jason Mark. We're actually going to start selling this and offering hat care products from Jason Mark, specifically Refresh. So when it gets funky, you can spray it and it'll come back to life. It's basically a deodorizer. Repel, which will turn any cap into a water-resistant, water-repellent cap. And then a hat cleaner if you get stuff on it, and then hat brushes and stuff. But yeah, I love that he called out Jason Mark. Well done, Todd. Todd, I think you just won one of our free caps.
Right.
As I'm first learning about that on this show. There you go.
Yeah, I never.
Yeah, that is that. I don't think
Yeah.
we've actually announced that to anybody.
Yeah, cool.
Well,
Congrats,
as my old
Todd.
football coach used to say, you learn something new every day. If you're not,
You really
you're a
do.
moron. Yep.
You do. I mean, so true.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get away to the giveaway here, Ryan. How do you want to do this? Do you want to have them reach out to me personally, or would you rather have them message you guys on Facebook?
Whatever works, it doesn't matter to me. They can reach out to us directly and just let us know. I now know Todd is going to reach out to us. We'll send Todd a free cap. That was an excellent question. Love that one.
All right, so I'll go ahead and let you ask the question to the audience.
Ryan 2.0 just said, tell Todd to message us.
Okay, all right. There we go. So if you do win a cap tonight, just go ahead and message Peaky Hat on their Facebook page. And Ryan, I'll go ahead and let you ask the question for the audience, and we'll keep an eye on the chat. If Ryan 2.0 will be able to watch that as well, so that way we know who the first actual correct answer or correct response would be. The floor is all yours, Ryan.
What was the first cap I designed?
What was the first cap Ryan designed?
I think
Let's go and
that's
look
a
at the
good
chat
one.
here.
Yeah.
This is for a gallant giveaway.
Yep. Yeah, we'll send you one of those, the Gallant, one of the 100% Harris tweed caps.
All right, so we have an answer. Oh, we got Connor has said the Balboa. So is that the correct answer there, Todd?
You mean Ryan?
That's absolutely the correct answer.
I'm sorry, Ryan. I got Todd in my mind. Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, you know
Too
what I
many
mean.
Todds. It was the Balboa?
Yeah.
It was the Balboa.
Okay.
All right, so that would be Connor Lawley Music 2749. Go ahead
right.
and message Peaky Hat on Facebook. And you have won yourself a Gallant from Peaky Hat and from Ryan and Ryan 2.0 themselves.
Yes.
Congrats, Connor.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, young man.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that 2179 is your birthday. So you're, if not, you're 2,179 years old. I'm not sure.
So I do have if you think your audience is up for it, I do have a we'll call it a first look at what I genuinely believe to be one of our most successful, sought after, well-liked designs. One that I am most excited, and I get excited about a lot of my designs. Everybody knows this. Like at some point, cry wolf. But I have a design that we're going to release next Friday that I think, if they're up for it, there might be some interest in seeing it. If you guys think now's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. I'm just curious. Anybody in the chat looking forward to see what he's talking about here? What Ryan is about to explain or about to release on us? It could be a
Ain't nobody going to say no to that.
Yeah,
No.
it's definitely some fire for sure.
This is one that I've been really excited about for a long time. I spent a lot of time working on this one, and the hardest part about this one was waiting until to release it. This has been really hard for me to keep a secret. And if Ryan Cox, if 2.0 was on, she would definitely back me up on this one. Boys, I think you guys have these, right? Yeah. Yes, you do. You guys can pull out the single panels. I'll pull out first look at what's coming, called the Renegade, which is the Newsboy, and the Rogue, which is a single panel ivy made out of denim, complemented with it's so soft too.
Yeah, I love it.
Corduroy under the brim, in contrast stitching in the single panel. It's going to come in denim black. It's going to come in denim blue with the contrast yellow stitch, yellow corduroy. And then what I love the black, but maybe
yes, this thing is so
old school washed out
Yes.
jeans with contrasting brown,
I got light blue too.
brown corduroy underneath the brim.
Yeah, if that color doesn't scream out 1984 Jordache. Oh,
I mean,
that one looks sweet.
there's caps that I
Yeah.
get excited about, and I know you guys all have the single panel ivy. This is I'll show off the traditional Newsboy as well. So it's going to come in all three colors. The Renegade is the traditional Newsboy. Again, all three colors. Like you said, this one it screams everything that we've got in terms of our nostalgia bucket.
Yeah.
It fits, but it works today.
Yeah.
There's a lot of backstory on why I chose denim and why it's the Renegade and the Rogue. There was a time period where denim was actually banned in schools because it was seen as a sign of rebellion against the government. There's just a lot about it that I think really defines not just who Peaky Hat is, but who our customer base is. And so I'm yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
and I don't want to cut you off, Ryan. I
Yeah.
did this. I opened this up before the review or before the show tonight, and there's something about Peaky Hat to where if you don't own a Peaky Hat, you're missing out, because the feel is like no other. And this cap here, it's you can't even explain how it feels. First of all,
Yeah.
it's something like no other, and it is.
I dug deep in the denim drawer to find a denim that was not only going to withstand the elements. So naturally, it's like, a really good pair of denim jeans. It will break in and wear in the right way, but it's already soft.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like it's stiff. Like it's
Yeah.
a quality denim. But yeah, I love hearing that, Moose. That's awesome.
It only gets nicer when you're out in the sun too, so get some exposure to some sun and get a little fading.
and I did this really deep dark blue liner just to represent old school blue denim that started.
Yeah,
Dude, I
it's
love
an
all the
amazing
colors.
cap.
March
Love all the
6th.
colors, but this black is awesome, man. I love this black,
The
dude.
contrast stitching gets me. I love it.
Yeah.
For real, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's quite a few comments right now in the chat. My wife is going to kill me.
Yes.
Oh, no. Not
saw
when you put it on. It's
She's gonna kiss you then.
nothing,
changes.
nothing but denim. Nothing but denim.
Yeah.
Somebody
And
said
I got a
she's
couple
mother and
questions on
done.
here, Ryan. When exactly will they be able to order this? And be
March
able to place
6th,
you up?
9 a.m. Eastern.
There you go. March 6th. That is when that will be released. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, this cap, the Rogue, I mean, it's that corduroy feel. And in my review, you'll definitely get a kick out with the reminiscent of the corduroy jeans back in the day.
Oh yeah, the whistling.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, especially
lot of-
husky thighs like myself.
Definitely a unique cap for sure.
It is.
For real.
I'm really excited about this one. As far as overall design and design aesthetics, it's one that I'm pretty proud of this one. I love how it came out. I did more versioning and stuff with this than I have any other cap, and I couldn't be happier with the end result.
I think this
We
would
actually sent back a batch of them because I wasn't satisfied and redid a whole
I'm gonna
bunch.
have to pick up the other two colors now.
Yeah.
That's the master plan.
And the Harris tweed ones.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I always say, the color options.
For real.
Yeah.
Dude,
But
on the color.
I would imagine there's probably nobody on here that wants one of these for free. If you think somebody's interested, we can do another giveaway for a free Renegade or Rogue.
Well, let's just, I'm going to go ahead and put everybody type Peaky in the chat if you'd like to see him give away some Rogues here. Let's see how many Peakies we get in the chat here. We gotta hype up the suspense because this cap here, crazy.
Yeah,
there we go. Now the
yeah.
Peakies are rolling in.
I love the pesky. I get that all the time. Like it's like like I might change the name of the company to Pesky just because of the autocorrect gets it so often.
That's like Chad when he texts us with his fat fingers.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure some people think we're a little pesky.
Yeah, Chad sends the type. He's not very good at texting.
Yeah, I'm not the best at texting. I'm all thumbs.
For some reason,
Been rubbing off on me lately
back
too.
the
man.
word
I gotta
first.
say.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, this color is just
Yeah,
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, I
that'll
like
be
that
in my
light
card
blue.
on March
Looks good.
6th.
Yeah, that's an awesome color too.
Yeah.
That brings it back, man.
Yeah.
this is one.
Yeah,
And,
just-
I'll be honest. We don't keep secrets here. Interesting story, like how difficult and how some of these things come to play. The first run we didn't happen on the black or the blue, but the first run we did, you can imagine the hue on this on different runs of fabric coming out just a little bit off because it's a wash jean. Typically, that's not a big deal with jeans because you can kind of have this gradient with it.
Yeah.
But if you put one that's a little bit lighter next to one that's a little bit darker, it stands off no good. And so we actually had to scrap a lot of fabric, not scrap, but like we repurposed it in a very environmentally friendly way. But we had to go back and kind of re-engineer this one just to make sure the panels would all match and not have any color variation in it because it was important. You buy one of our caps, I want it to be one of the best caps you've ever had. And so it was important to us, but man, I'm a little excited about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you
That's
should.
like more to
Yeah,
say.
for real.
I was excited that I was able to get one to you guys too. I appreciate you guys.
We
Yeah, that's
appreciate
awesome,
it,
man.
man.
Appreciate that.
Awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate it as well. I mean, it's
Man.
to be able to be the first one to try these on and you know, and it's like I said.
Oh,
it's
I've got some friends, Moose, that I think are pissed off now. 'Cause you- I'm gonna get some calls.
your phone's
Oh,
gonna
we're
start
not-
blowing up. What the hell? What the hell?
When that box showed, because my wife was off for a snow day today, so I couldn't hide my boxes today. Then I got one box earlier, a rad cap, and this box showed up. I was like, "Don't worry, don't worry, I didn't spend anything on this one."
No,
So, Ryan, did you want to go ahead and give it right into the giveaways of that?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We sure can. We sure can.
All right. Now, I just want to now, Brett, I did see you comment about like whatever you're watching. Believe it or not, all these chats on here are from all different platforms. You'll be able to see if they're coming from YouTube, if they're coming from Facebook. It'll actually show on there, and it's live. It's real time. So just because you're watching on Facebook doesn't mean that you'll be delayed or not get a chance to win these caps. All right. So what kind of question you got for the audience there, Ryan?
So do you want to do? I do. I got a good one. This isn't one that we talked about. But it might. Somebody on here may be kind of aware of it. How many years has Peaky Hat been in existence? What year are we working on right now in terms of our overall existence? Most people guess this wrong.
Question.
As a 1980s commercial, inquiring minds want to know.
But how long do you think we've been around?
All right, so we got a couple of them rolling in. We got 4. Holy cow, these are coming in fast.
We are starting year 4.
All right, so it looks like Deer Hunter is 1971. That's not my kind of year. It looks like he is the winner. So Deer Hunter 01971. If you want to go ahead and reach out to Peaky Hat and send them a message on Facebook and give them information, Ryan 2.0 is keeping an eye on that for us.
Yep. Yeah, because you would ask me that kind of beforehand. How old we were. We celebrated. I say celebrate. We didn't celebrate being 3 years old. We were celebrating other thing in September, the month of Peaky. We were celebrating our customers, but in September, that's our anniversary month, which is another reason why we do the month of Peaky and celebrate our customers, because without them, we don't have anniversaries.
Awesome! Congratulations, Deer Hunter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The hardest part that Deer Hunter has coming up is the color. What color are you choosing?
Yeah, there you go.
That is hard, actually. They're all nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All 3.
I know which one I'm choosing on the 6th is I'm going to choose the other 2 colors I don't have.
Yeah.
I say this with sincerity. I appreciate you guys giving us the platform and the opportunity to do a first share on your show. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to do that with your audience. So thank you, genuinely.
I love your product. Happy to have you out here.
I got one more question, maybe before we step out soon, if I might.
Yeah.
And you had asked before the show if you could swear or not, but you haven't sweared. I'm gonna swear right now, in all due respect. Who the fuck is Ryan 2.0? Is that your robot or some shit?
Oh man, like she should be here. Like I shouldn't even be answering this for her.
We've always been wondering that.
Yeah.
Her name's Ryan. Her name's Ryan Cox.
Okay.
She's the grease that makes this engine continue to run. So long story short, back in the day, I'm only on year 4. I needed somebody to kind of help me establish a social media presence. And so I had this vision, right? And the hardest thing about my visions and the things that I set out to do is executing them, because my appetite is always substantially bigger than my stomach. And so I had this vision, and I just needed somebody to kind of help me have a consistent pulse on social media. And I came across her. She had a small agency where she was helping small businesses kind of establish and do things on social. And so she came into the Peaky Hat fold as kind of one of the first agencies. And we immediately had a pretty good working relationship. And she started to understand what I was doing and what I was all about and what the brand was trying to accomplish. And so she was doing social media. But because social media is one of those things that happens every single day, we had to communicate often. And because we communicated often, we quickly gelled, and she quickly really embodied what we were trying to accomplish and had a great voice and the ability to kind of get it out there. She has 2 N's in her name. She thinks she's so amazing. She had to spell it with an extra N. Both of us named Ryan. We kind of had that joke, like how do we differentiate? Because, and and Ryan deserves more credit than she will ever get. She keeps me from jumping out of windows, and she has elevated in terms of what she does for Peaky Hat. She does all of our social media scheduling and content, and make sure that we continue to have a pulse out there in terms of what we're voicing out. She does all of our inventory management. She helps on some operational stuff. She's an integral cog to all things Peaky. She is behind anything and everything that we do. And the goal is that she'll not only be behind everything we do, but also be at the forefront of all the things that we do moving forward. She's out of Toledo, Ohio, so we're not neighbors, but we're in the same state. But she's a massive part about what we do. And when we started out, she's like, well, I can't call myself Ryan because everybody was getting confused. And so she's like, you're Ryan, I'm Ryan 2.0, right? Like, so right, she's been asking to become 2.1. I don't know if she got an upgrade. I don't know if she passed beta phase. Like, one of these days she's gonna be like 7.0. It's like, wait a minute. Like, no, she's amazing. She is all things Peaky, and a big part of what the brand has become and will become tomorrow, and deserves all the credit in the world.
And based on these comments, it seems like she's pretty popular.
Yeah, she's good. She's good people.
I'm sure I've had correspondence with her before, thinking it was you or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and we get that a lot. Like, it's like, well, how do you different? Like, nah. But yeah, and it's not just Ryan. It's, we have Sarah and we have Paula who help with customer communication, and a big part of what we do. And I'm sure you guys had the opportunity to talk to Funky Brims and Chris. Yeah. And Chris does it right when it comes to running a business and how to treat associates and people that represent your brand. He does it right. And he has from day one. Everybody can take a page out of his book there, and he deserves a lot of credit for he and his wife in terms of what they do and how they operate as human beings. And one of the things that we are emphasizing are the people that communicate to you when you reach out to support, you reach out through Facebook, you comment on Facebook, and we reach out to you, whatever that is. They're not agents, they're people. Yeah. They're not Peaky Hat representatives. They're Sarah, they're Paula, they're Ryan Cox. Like all of us, I'm a husband first, I'm a dad first, I'm a son first, I'm a brother first, I'm a friend first. Peaky Hat just happens to be this passion that I have, right? But we're all these other things first, and I think that's really important. And not only is that important for us as individuals, but also to be empowered to be who you are and be yourself as you communicate to people. And so it was important that as they communicate, that's why you see their names, because they're not just Peaky Hat, they're a name, and there's somebody on the other end. And there's somebody who genuinely cares about you having a great experience, whatever that is, right? One of them, she calls herself Valet, which I love that. She's the valet. So you show up, what do you need to make your stay better, right? Because she's genuinely hoping that you have a great experience, whatever you need in that moment, whether it's finding a hat, returning a hat, looking for the next style, or where's my package? We genuinely care that you get the appreciation that you deserve and the attention that you deserve. But we're people first, and I think that's important as we continue to grow. And the reason that's important to us is because we can't see if we don't see ourselves as people first, we won't see you as people first.
Well said. Well said.
Not awesome.
Yeah.
Like I'm not selling a hat to an email address, right? We're delivering a cap to Ann Ox. We're delivering a cap to Doug's. Like, there are people on the other end. And it's not just play money, like you work your ass off. And if you're gonna commit and support our brand, you sure as hell deserve the respect to be flipped around, and that's got to start by being people on both sides.
Yeah. And well, you know, I made this on every one of our roundtables we've had. I know all four of us here were huge supporters of small businesses. And, you know, it's, if I have a choice between small business and driving 10 more miles away to go to a small business mom and pop store, I'm driving that 10 miles. You know, it's just, that's just the way I feel. I know these guys feel the same way.
But if that small business doesn't treat you like a person,
you're right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not going to pick on Chris, but I think Chris deserves credit here. He's a small business. You should go back to that small business because of how he treats his people and how his people treat the people that walk through those doors. And not every small business, just because you're a small business, doesn't give you a pass to deserve. You've got to earn.
Oh, right. Well, you know, perfect example. I mean, yeah, we don't go to your storefront. We don't, you know, whatever it might be. But the care that you guys put into the packaging, you know, that speaks volumes. I mean,
it's as much as we can afford.
And it's the hat steam. I'm sorry.
It's as much as we can afford.
Yeah, right. And that's how you win people to come back. If I've had a company I ordered a hat from, it came in a poly whatever it is bag. And I'm like, well, what the hell is this? You know, how are you going to, I mean, your first impression, I mean, you don't get your first impression because it's not face to face.
Yeah.
So your first impression is what's in the box.
Yeah.
How it's in the box.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer that every part of it. So there's three things that are what I consider our mantras, and those that have seen our lives or whatever, you've heard this. It's a broken record, but it's an important record that we'll continue to kind of speak to ourselves. One, we will constantly work on improving quality without sacrificing cost. That's not just the hat itself. That's also the packaging. That's the experience. It's a web experience, all those things. I could have amazing packages, but I got to charge you $120. I got to pass that. Don't want to do that, right? So it's how can we have the best experience, the best opportunity, and the best product with great quality without you having to spend an arm and a leg. We will continue to tailor and work towards working class and blue collar affordability. The second one is we want you to have the best experience that we could possibly deliver in that moment. That is whether it's you're looking for a hat, the first time you came across us, you're opening up a box, or it didn't fit and it was a terrible cap, you didn't like it, and you need to have an exchange. I'm hoping that your experience is one that you remember and you're like, I actually kind of enjoyed that. That brought some kind of spark of positivity in my day. And if we can do that, we're winning. And then the third one, I want to build a brand that my family, my friends, my customers, my partners, and the people that work with Peaky Hat can be proud to support, which is basically just don't be an asshole and choose the harder right over the easier wrong every opportunity that we have. And if we do those three things, the rest should reap results, right? Like they should come.
I agree.
Yes, definitely.
I saw somebody's question. Where's the most memorable place you lost a hat?
I saw that.
In my room. I searched up and down. This happened like 2 days ago. I could not find a hat. My wife's like, really? You can't find a hat? Like, I've got a lot of them here. In my room underneath a sweatshirt. I was like, you can. I didn't find it until like 2 days later.
Oh, God.
At least it wasn't on your head. So.
Yeah. I always said I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached to my hat.
Now, Anox, Chad, Dubs, do you have any other questions for Ryan at all? Because now I got a parting question for him.
Nope. They've been good.
I'm good.
Thank you, Ryan 2.0, for everything that you do.
Yeah. Thank you, Ryan 2.0.
Thank you.
You are the one who I chat with quite a bit. And, you know, it's one day, well, I'm pretty sure we will meet in person one day. I'll you guys. But
looking forward to it.
Yeah. So my last question that we have here. All right. Seeing how far you guys come in 4 years. Fast forward to 5 years from now.
Yeah.
And where do you see you guys as Peaky Hat then?
Oh, on the beach, private equity has bought out same private equity. You guys are bad mouthing all the quality. Man, I'll be honest with you, it's hard to tell because I had a 5-year vision and I haven't started thinking out that far. It's so important that I take care of what's happening right now, because if I put my head in front of the skis, and I'm going to lose sight on what's so important and critical right now. There are a lot of really big initiatives. Obviously the Harry Hall stuff, I'm super excited about. I've got a lot that we're doing on that end. The excitement with there is that the limit is, it's a high ceiling. What I've got in terms of designs and things that are coming out in 2026 are important. I'm still just a baby, right? Like I'm still getting my sea legs. I'm refining some of the shapes. I feel really good about where I am with the traditional newsboy. I feel really good about where I am with the single panel. And so eventually I want to have 3 shapes. So everything's going to come in 3 shapes: traditional, slim profile, single panel ivy. Slim profile needs some work, so we're focusing on that. So if I were to put the lens on 2027 as opposed to 2029, 2030, or 2030 and beyond, 2027, I'm hoping that we have all those shapes and everything established and we get into a rhythm. And some of these initiatives and things we do are bigger than focusing on, like, I don't want us to be worried about size consistency. I don't want us to be worrying about quality control. Like, I want to have a lot of those things established so that we can achieve those 3 things that I talked about in a nice cadence rhythm with consistency. Consistency, I think, is the goal, right? How do you get to a point to where you can be consistent so that when you buy your first hat and your second hat, they're the same, and you buy your 13th hat and your 22nd hat, they're also the same, and your expectations are met every step of the way. That's kind of what's important. And so we have to get from here to here before I can even think bigger than that. To be honest, 2 years ago, I didn't know if I'd be here tonight. And so for me to think that far ahead, while you got to have an eye on some of the future, it would be probably a little arrogant of me to think that I'll be here in 5 years and that I can pull off some of the things that are bigger than what's right in front of me right now. Because right now is what's important. I don't want to lose sight of that.
Oh, well, again, thank you for your time out here tonight, Ryan. Thank you to
for
all our
coming.
Thank you
audience
very much.
Watching, following along.
Pleasure to meet you.
We do appreciate it.
Same.
We don't have a special guest lined up for our next Scally Cap Chronicle as of yet. Also, if you guys would, I put links to all of our YouTube channels in the chat. If you guys would subscribe to that.
Check us out.
I even put Peaky Hat on there. And now, Jeff, are you talking about the link for the Gallant? I put that in the chat a few times. I'll go ahead and put it in there again.
Hey, will you text that to me when this is over?
Yeah, I can do that as well. But again, thanks everybody for watching. Also, we are going to be having our own gentleman's roundtable pin coming out probably about next month or so, and you will pick that up on our pages. But again, Ryan, thank you for coming out. We do appreciate
Thank
Thank you
you,
very
Ryan.
much. Yeah, man.
Appreciate
it.
And
Oh man,
Nice to meet you.
honestly, it's such an honor. The fact that you know who we are and that you extended the invitation to allow us to join is, again, the pleasure is mine. It's an absolute honor. I love what you guys do. I think what you're doing to share a lot of in exposing a lot of great talent and talented hatters out there to a lot of people it's fantastic. Keep doing it.
Love to have you on again.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
You gotta-
love having you on
you
again.
gotta-
And to go
whatever
for
we
that,
do
as
is
far
support.
as what you were saying to the other, if a year ago we had discussed this before we even started. A year or 2 years ago when I first got into these, it was always Boston Scally.
Yeah.
And then finally you find out there's other companies out there. Peaky Hat is obviously top tier, as far as the quality and everything. And I mean, if I was still,
I don't know about that, man. Thank you for saying that.
if I was closed-minded, I would never would have given it a chance. And me doing these reviews, all 4 of us doing reviews, opening up the horizons other than what's the main company is, and it opened up. I mean, we've had several comments in here like, "Hey, I got on the Peaky Hat from Dub, Ant, myself, Chad," and and so it's us by doing that, we're giving the love back to you for making the great product you make.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I'm lucky you found us. That's awesome.
And also, I do want to tell you, Ryan, you know, if I do a lot of interviews for work, and you would have definitely got the job because your responses were.
I saw him on the Scallywag show. I knew he was going to be good.
I like what I do. I'm not looking.
Yeah,
I'm not looking.
All right. Again, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Ryan, thanks again. We'd love to
Thanks
have
for
you
watching,
back.
everyone.
Thanks for
Thanks for
watching.
watching.
Everybody have a great night. And,
Have a great night.
See you guys next week.
Cool.
Okay.
Later.
Later.